Started recording. So what's the word, karma? What's
Hey,
what's that word? What's that word, karma? Hold on. Welcome back.
it's Karma Baby.
So what's the word? Is
Hi,
this like an
baby.
emergency podcast? Like you gotta get something out to the public. What's going on?
No, it's not an emergency one. It's just I had to do one today. Somebody reminded me time to make a segment.
So what exactly happened?
So,
It's not even what happened. What is the premise? What's the premise of today's podcast?
you know what? I'm still trying to get it. Let me figure out one real quick. That's a good question. So I want because the main thing is relationship, but what about a relationship between a man and woman is the question. Right. Hmm.
Cause like, didn't something happen earlier? I don't know if it was you, somebody that you know, but something that really like kind of. I don't know if they was
Yeah,
just trying
it
to
was
play with
just
you or like, you feel me, entitlement, like, you feel me, like,
Yeah, it was pretty much like a situation that happened with an ex off of Bigo. So this was my first encounter on Bigo, actually like meeting up with someone, going the extra initiative. Because you got your like little Bigo relationships that's just like, oh, this is my number one contributor, box one taken. It gets a little, deep involved with combos, whatever the hell. But I didn't have my fair share of just playful Bigo dates or damn potentials. But a long distance relationship is like, major key here when you're talking about social media app or streaming app. Not everyone you meet is going to be in the same hometown. So, of course, dealing with Bigo as a whole is new to me because this is new to me as a streaming world, as just, what was my whole purpose on getting on the app, and then dealing with the relationships on Bigo, um, and then, like making it come true. So, I want to say, like, my first experience, it was like, damn, a lot of females wouldn't be complaining right now. But why is karma not necessarily complaining, but why is still not sitting right for her? And like the major thing with this guy is like, okay, great, looking. Um, he works, so that means he's not lazy. Financially stable, you know what I mean? Has his own place. He's not living in people's houses. Uh, but
but
then meeting him, right? But just the whole process of getting to learn one another, like differences or wants and needs per se, that was the hardest part. Now, financially, I'm not fully stable, right? Being a single mom of five kids, but I definitely try my hardest. So I stay afloat like most people. Um, and still, still try to do my thuggy on the everyday life. Like if I want to get my nails done or my hair done, XYZ. Because at the end of the day, we can't forget about ourselves. But I don't want to sound too selfish or, at the end of the day, like fuck my life. Because of course my kids' meal will come before my hair and nails. But if I have some extra
that's a
fucking
fact.
funds, that's where it's gonna go.
Hmm.
But us ladies, when we're in a relationship, sometimes we seek that extra help because this extra money that we do work for, or the fact that we don't spend it on the household things or whatever the case may be, we want to spend this shit on some clothes or something.
Yeah,
Now we have to like differ between the sense like, do we want to get this or do we want to get that? So of course the men step up to the plate and do what we got to do for his woman and vice versa. Anyway, he stepped up to the plate tremendously. If I tell you how much this guy spent in a week, you'll be like, wait, what? Just
I'd be asking
meeting
for his
him.
number.
Yeah, I think any girl right now would be like, bitch, why is he complaining? But there's always a but. Give me 1 second so I can put you guys on the mute.
a fact.
Mommy's calling.
So I don't know too much about what happened, guys, but y'all gotta stop playing with people. Cause I know we're kind of generalizing things, but y'all be playing with these females, brody. Y'all be playing.
And like some females find, the whole money thing is a big thing for girls, especially for females, or I want to say like I love saying differing the girls between women, but I'm just
Yeah,
gonna say
definitely. Because it,
females.
no, because it's you're right. Like a lot of people be fucked up. Is logistics. So a lot of people be fucked up, but nowadays is different. Cause like a lot of females, it's just like yo, they on that. We don't need anything. We got our own money. But then again, you have that. That's a like few that you feel me. It don't matter if they got bread
Yeah.
and shit like that. That's the traditional way. Nigga. You're supposed to get taken care of, nigga.
Mhm. And I'm one of them. I definitely live by a lot of old school codes, but I know generation has changed tremendously. So there is room for improvement and change because not all of them are fucking bad, okay? And sometimes the old school ways is not it. New day
That
and
is a
age.
fact. And it's not even just about adapting and shit like that. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
niggas back then just didn't do it the right way.
Exactly. But in this situation, of course, everything was all good until it wasn't. And I thought, by being openly honest, like most people ask for in relationships, right? Communication is
I'm
a
not.
big
I'm not
thing.
even gonna fucking hold you. Especially when depending on what it is. Sometimes it's better to keep that secret, gang. But what was you gonna say?
And I get it. I get it. But I have dealt with many situations, right? And I want to say not even sexually encounter. I'm not talking about both me and a man. No, I'm talking about friendship relationships as a whole entirely. That honesty is the best way. I'm sorry.
No, that's a fact.
Honesty is
But
the best
here's
way.
my thing, right? If I look at you as this innocent fucking person that's never even like, you know, I'm the fucking animal. Okay, that's one thing. Then I feel like I should know certain things. But then when it gets to like I already know you have a past type shit, I'm not trying to get into details about what the past, holds. You feel me? At that point, it's just like nah, like it's clip. Like I get you have a past. I'm looking past. Like we moving past that. It's like
Hmm.
certain. You feel me? But again, if like I'm thinking you this innocent person and all this shit, then yeah, by all means, let somebody know like yo,
But a
it's not what
lot
you look.
of
It's not what you
us,
look like.
um, I want to say a lot of us, because even including me, when I speak to people, again, relationships as a whole, but it gets deeper with my significant other because your person should know everything about you. You know what I mean? Like where you came from entirely, how
In
you got
time though, but
over
some
certain
people be
things.
trauma dumping and shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. That baggage dumping, child. Put
Real,
that
cause
shit
they
back
think
in
that's
your
gonna
baggage
work.
and
It's like,
zipper it
yo, this what
up.
I'm going on. I got 7 baby daddies, 4 kids, like, and it's just like, bro, okay, I didn't
And
need
you know
that in
what? This
time,
relationship was
time and
giving just
place.
that. And it was just like, damn, did I need more than you need me? Type shit. And is what is this? Is this a needing relationships?
Hey,
Because
cause everybody talk about finances, but it's like finances don't be what keep a relationship, man.
at all. And I was brutally honest with this guy and told him that what he needed out of me, you know, I could not give at the moment. I couldn't give it to him because what I seen through, like I just pretty much seen right through him that it was just giving false pretenses, and I didn't like it at all.
What do you mean though? Like
As far as like
from his life,
the
from what he told you, or you saw certain differences, or he started adapting and acting differently, or you saw his true colors? What you mean?
It was just like, okay, the start of our relationship, right? What bothered me the most is that he just really excluded himself from the people he knew, everything. I'm talking about like friendships. It was just solely up to me. A lot of girls ask for that, right? I want my man to be all about me, all about me. Trust me, I've had the attention. I've had it. I
But
want my nigga to be all about me too. But he also has to have a social life too, right?
no, that's a fact.
Is he
Then they're gonna end up
is
hating
he
him.
exactly? Well, he took it upon himself. I didn't ask him to delete himself from the social world. I have seen this man before he was who he became to be. We were amongst a bunch of people in a panel. So I've
So
seen
like
you
mutual
around
friends and
other
shit like that.
females. Yes. And I've seen the respect. I've seen the, how you carry yourself. And that's what intrigued me the most, that you were the person you were and held that composure and whatever the hell amongst these people. Didn't matter who it was, including me. You didn't let back nothing, okay? The realest to come, which made me wake up to a lot of things as well. And that's what I fucked with the most. So I'm like, okay, this could be a potential. And not only is he this type of person right now, from what I see in this panel or whatever, but he's financially stable. He's a great guy off the app because I've them talk to him on the phone type shit. And hey, maybe this could be it. Until he literally just dumped everything on me at one time, deleted his socials. It's just all about me.
At what point?
I don't act.
Two questions. One, at what point was this? Like, was it at the point that he had came to see you, or it was before he
It
initially?
was way before,
So
way
like as soon as
before.
you guys locked in, type shit.
Yes, it was as soon as, damn, this really happening. And the fact that it didn't even like it just went smooth, you know what I mean? And like we both had a moment at the same time to be like, hey yo, is this really happening? And then we laughed about it. Like it was kind of weird for us both because we were, friends. We were friends amongst a whole lot of people. He seen me in relationships, and then I heard him around other people where he was in relationships with, you know what I mean? As far as like Bigo, dating, not really meeting up with anybody or officially talking to anyone, you know? Um,
Yeah, you say everything you need to say because I got one question after all that. And it's good. You're gonna get into some. Just finish up.
so yeah, it pretty much like I already seen the red flags before he came over here, and they were said. Like I said, I'm very honest, and hey, I think it's just best you just don't. But he was still very much assertive, still very much showing himself,
Yeah, he was
and
adamant
we
about the
are.
situation. Just kept pushing it.
Hmm. And then at this point, everything that he was giving was sent or just listen. You have no choice. So at this point, what choice do karma has but to take, right? But now I'm feeling this sense of kind of like guilt and using and like selfishness. Like, even though I'm keeping it real with this guy, it's not sitting right. Like what you giving is not sitting right. This is not what I'm asking for. Like you missing my point. Like I'm sitting here talking to you, trying to get you to understand me, but you think that this is gonna fix her upper, and it's not. It's really pushing me away. And now it's making me feel more of a way because now I got this sense of guilt. Like I owe you something. Like, can you just stop for a second? Like, can I breathe?
So
So pretty much now that, go ahead.
no, no, keep it. No,
No, what's your question?
no, no, no. finish out?
I like when you ask questions.
Alright, so where I'll just ask it all. So my big question is, where do you think you messed up at? You know, like where did? Because at some point you saw the change, but you still let everything slide. So what? At what point did you? Because you overlooked it. You overlooked a lot of shit. Realistically,
I feel like giving it a
and
chance.
and what's something that you can do to prevent it so other people, don't go through the same shit.
I feel like as soon as you feel like this way about a certain someone, and you're like, you know what, there's too many red flags, and I really cannot. Like, this is not going to be it. Just let it be. Just let it be. It just go with the flow. Like, they stand by what you think is right at that time. Because I'm telling you, if there's red flags right there, it's for a reason. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Try to change the color to that motherfucking flag, because it's not gonna change. Okay, I'm telling you that right now.
So was it like did he just again? Was it an incident that happened that y'all switched? You feel me? That you felt like he switched up at? Because sometimes you'd be like, yeah, I remember this night, this shit happened, and like a nigga never been the same again. So it was like, was it a situation like that, or like when he was on the way there, did
It
he
was
switch
just the
up?
way
Like,
he was just changing his ways. You know what? Like,
but did it
just
happen immediately? Like, did something happen to cause
no. I
it?
want
You
to
feel
say,
me?
like, after I gave him a way in, right? Like, okay, we could potentially be something. Now his wants and needs as a potential wife or girl, whatever, right? Now the whole thing is shifting in his head. I am no longer his friend. I am no longer what he knew of me as. Now it's just like a whole nother, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with a S. No, it starts with an E. Expectation. You know how when you have like different categories, you're expecting certain things. Hello?
No, yeah, my bad. I was trying to clean this ash up, but I don't know. Like,
But as far as his
I was trying to get at the
expectations,
whole.
they
I was trying to
changed.
get at the scenario. Is what I was saying. Like,
So that was just the whole thing. As far as the expectations, that changed and it turned me off.
and by the time you
It
made
was
that
the
decision, like, dude was already around. Like, shit already happened. Like,
pretty much before I fully called it off and it got toxic, a couple arguments, misunderstandings happened. And the more oh, well, maybe if we seen each other in real life, it would be different. Maybe it's a long distance thing. Just pretty much using excuses to still try to make it work. I understand, like, we fight hard for what we want, right? But there are red flags in place for a reason. There's a time and place for everything, and that goes for people too. Not everybody's here to date or fuck, or they're just here literally as
so hear me out,
someone else.
right? For the people, because the people don't really know the logistics of what's going on. What are
Mhm.
certain red flags that certain people should watch for? They got some advice type shit like this happened. This what this mean? Like,
I want to say, like, as far as like the controlling issue, just I didn't like how he was trying to control, trying to just like take away his social media to try to have like a say over minds, right? That was the first thing. And then when it came to the money, it was just like, oh, genuinely, I'm here to financially help you so you can stop doing what you're doing, right? But I got you. But I felt like he was also controlling how he kept me, hmm, you know what I mean? Like, if I did have a hobby, it's just like, oh, you ain't got to do that. I got it. Very much so, like, sit down and let's wait until I say you can do something. I didn't like that. So I feel like as far as like the signs, it's just if you can't truly be yourself around this person that you tend to give your all to, just call it quits. And if they can't, and if you're honest with this person, like, hey, I can't be myself with doing this or whatever, and it's legitimately like just being yourself, laughing with certain people, going certain places, just things that you enjoy and like talking about or doing. If they have an issue with that and they want it all to be about just, oh no, this is what I want to talk about because what you're talking about is boring. Now tell me that's not too honest.
Man, that's
That
crazy.
that's hella
And
honest,
and
ain't it?
that and that's something that like again like is it is it a requirement to be super on like honesty to the max?
I mean, that's what I heard when I was talking to the guy. And that hit me hard because I didn't think what I was talking about was boring. It was what I was talking about, he couldn't necessarily reflect off of because he wasn't doing it at the time. But have as has he done it before? Yes. Could it have been something that he could have just let me speak about and vent about because he knows how it can be? Of course. But at that time, it was boring to him. He didn't want to hear it. It wasn't something he wanted to talk about. So things like that, like it was just like, hold on, wait, what?
So I guess stepping away from that, is it a good thing to be brutally honest, I guess, with people?
Yeah, because it shows people true colors and their intentions and so on and so forth. As much as it sat me back and was like, wait, what? It really showed me that it was whatever he wanted to talk about or whatever was entertaining to him is what we were going to speak about.
But I'm saying in
And it was just
general
like
though, in
in
general.
general,
Like
yeah, in
cuz like
general.
I said,
And that's
even
why
the
I
scenario that I
pinpoint
said.
that situation
Mhm.
with that scenario too. Brutally honest is the best way.
Nah,
I don't
bro,
care if
cuz
it's
like I
gonna
said,
hurt the
if you
person.
locked in with somebody and you know that they have a
Mm-mm.
past, you don't want to know the details and like what time it happened. Like, you feel me?
You
Sometimes
know,
you might not know that
a
there's a
time and
past and
place for
shit.
everything. Like I said, I don't be open with um a lot of my life because I'm very conservative, like very protective of what I had to do as far as like survival mode and things and as such. You know what I mean? We've all been there, but it's what we took out of it, who we became now that we can speak about it. Because you can't really speak about something that you don't fucking know or that you never been through. And that's one thing about me. When I'm gonna look at somebody talking or trying to teach me, okay, what you've been here before. I need some evidence. I need some proof that this was happened.
Right, right, right. So, I guess what are certain things that people could do to prevent these things from happening, like in the first place?
Listen, people always don't show their true colors. I'm telling you, it's hard. Human beings are very, very
I know,
complex, and
but
we all know this.
some people, this they can't afford to deal with that. You feel me? So it's like they should like what are certain things that like if they
And if
see
you
up
can't
front,
afford
don't
to
overlook it.
and remove yourself from it, if you can't be brutally honest with that person, the first step is to remove yourself. Think with me, I love to check people. If I can check myself, or if someone can tell me something, as much as it's gonna hurt, because I am no hypocrite. I've dealt with it all my life, okay? Downfalls after downfalls after downfalls, people telling me you can't, people telling me you ain't shit. Trust me, it comes from everywhere. It don't only start with me, it starts with everybody else. So I just got used to it and took that into initiative that hold on, am I? Or nope, it's not me, it's you. But hold on, maybe I can adjust myself in that way because you've seen something I didn't. to actually take accountability within yourself that what they're saying is true. Or if they're gonna talk something or point fingers, that they're ducks in a row. Like I'm looking at it always. But as far as just really, really getting to know someone, just actually take your time, really understand this person in and out, and kind of put your kind of your feelings to the side and actually seeing this person for what it was,
Yeah, be
for what it
logical.
is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what are some of the upsides that came from the situation? You know, besides you
It's that
learning
I
who
learned
the person.
something new.
That's about the
That's
like
it.
was there a cool joke? Was there a song that you took from him? Like nothing.
Um, you know what? I learned things from, like I said, I learned from him, whether it was both negative and positive, whether it was a good song, whether it was a good joke. At like I told you, we were friends first. So within the relationship, I've always asked nothing more. But damn, remember how we first started. That's it. Just take your time and remember how things were before we became one. Tell me where that went wrong. And then, like it just can't happen. That's it.
So
So I just want to say, like, what I took out of it
mm,
is that I left something in me and I've learned something out of him. I was honest in this relationship and I don't regret anything. I don't feel guilty about anything.
that's where I was getting
Hmm. And I did all that I could, even with the red flags. Like I still tried. But I learned that that takes it's like a waste of time a little bit. I'm sorry.
at. I mean, you're not lying at all. But again, like it becomes a waste of time. But then it gets to a point where it's just like, at what point am I blocking my blessings? You feel me? Like, at what point, like, did I meet the person and then, you feel me? Like, it was just the flaws was too much or the baggage was
The
like,
the
cause shit
point where
changed.
you
People,
feel like you had enough. The point where you feel like that relationship or that person is changing you. The point where you can no longer be yourself.
I mean, in a
It's not
bad
even
way,
about
cause
them.
the whole point is to, is to change in a way. You feel me? You gotta adapt towards each other. Again, adapt towards each other.
I get it, but it depends on what it is. We really have to, when we talk about that, like, it has to go into detail. Because I feel like people would take that, like, out of content, and I don't like that.
Facts, facts. So
Because a lot of us like our do's and don'ts. A lot of us got
yeah, and
our
everybody
ways with our,
different.
right. And a lot of us come with baggage and trauma. Okay, so we really have to be careful.
Yeah, but
Who we changing
that's
for
what I'm saying. If
and
the
why?
person's worth like changing for, well,
I guess we
what
done.
the fuck was that? Oh, I
Got
think I
more
clicked it.
questions.
But what is it that you gotta tell to the people tonight? I know we just had this segment, but just what's the overall general message that you have to them?
Um, Damn, I have a whole lot, but
2025 is just it's not that tough. I know it sucks, but
just keep your eyes open, yo. Keep your eyes open and really understand and take it to account on who you come across every day and yourself. Don't forget
yeah,
about
cause that
yourself.
back door stay open.
Hmm. And that's all I gotta say.